After many hours of intense testing, thinking, and dreaming about the HDR of Harry Potter on the PC, I am finally ready to share with you the settings. Link in the description of the video to the Reshade preset .ini, or you can just copy the settings as you can see. But if you want to understand what I did here, I want to explain you because I think this was a fantastic idea. Very clever. Okay, because I thought about it for a very long time and the results are fantastic. We see all the near black detail. Okay, so right now this is blinding me, so I cannot see very well this shadow detail. But if I do this, so I don't get affected by the light, everything is there. Okay, near black, all the detail is there. The overall impression of the game, the contrast is the way I want it to be. Okay, this looks fantastic to me. We have zero perfect black. So what's the problem with the native HDR of Hogwarts Legacy? The problem is that we have the black level race. Okay, and if you try to fix that black level race using your TV settings, your monitor, you lower the black level, you crush near black details. Okay, and even if you use this new Lilium's HDR black floor fix shader by itself, and let's say you use this new enable SDR black floor emulation, yes, you fix the contrast of the game, but you're crushing near black details. And this game is without a doubt the best and most extreme example of near black detail I've ever seen. Okay, at the beginning of the game, and I don't know if this is gonna happen often on this game, at the beginning of the game you find yourself on a completely dark room, yet all the detail is there. Of course, with the default picture, vanilla HDR, it just looks washed out, it looks terrible. But if you use this Lilium's HDR black floor fix shader and you set the perfect old black point, it's just amazing. All the detail is there, everything gets revealed to you, and it's absolutely incredible. So now it's not enough, because you do that, yes, you get all the near black detail, but the overall impression of the game still looks raised. The gamma is raised. It looks too bright. It looks washed out. The colors are washed out, and it just doesn't look right. Okay? So here's what I did. I first find out what is that perfect black point. So I lowered that scene that's on the darkness until I have minimum CLL 0. Okay, so it is perfect. I can see everything. Then what I do is I increase that. And I increase that using this new black point. I increase it to 0.05, around 0.005. I use 0.049, okay? And then I reduce the entire gamma using this PROD8003 curved levels shader by increasing this black point to 11. Okay, so the results is that now I can see all the near black detail, and now because I lowered this, I increased this black point number, now I reduce the gamma of the game, so now it looks like deeper. You know, the blacks are, it doesn't look washed out. The gray scale is no longer elevated. Okay, so 3 things I did here. 1, first find out the perfect black floor, then increase that black floor, and then lower the entire gamma until I get everything perfect, close to black. So what happened here is just the compression of the near black to mid-tones. Basically, that's what I did. Near black, shadows, mid-tones, I compressed that a little bit so it doesn't look washed out. It no longer looks washed out. And I think this is a very, very clever idea, and I'm definitely going to try it for all other games where I want to achieve the same result. Okay? This is why I explain this. So you have this in your tool set in case you want to achieve this kind of results. Okay, let's say you have a game where you're like, okay, yes, I have perfect blacks, but the game still looks kind of washed out in my opinion. I wish near black it wasn't so bright, so I can get a deeper picture. That's what you can do. You can get that perfect black, increase it a little bit using this new black point, and then reduce the gamma completely until you have perfect blacks again. That's it. That's a very, very good idea. So now, how do I find this old black point? How can you figure out this number? Very easy. You go to the darkness, for example, at the beginning of the game, on that scene where you find yourself on a completely dark room, you're supposed to have minimum CLL 0. You're supposed to get perfect black. So what I do is I come here to this Lilium's HDR Black Floor Fix shader. I enable black floor lowering. And on this old black point, what I'm going to do is look at the minimum CLL. It says something like 0.001 something, for example. I say, okay, let me try 0.002. And that should crush everything. And it does. Okay, so I'm crushing everything with 0.002. Now I try 0.001, 9. I crush everything, 8. Crush everything, 7. It doesn't crush, then I go 7, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You get the idea? And in that way, I find out the perfect old black point. And after doing that, I can increase this new black point to whatever I want, depending on how much I want to reduce the gamma, depending on how much I want to, how deeper I want the picture to look. I can increase it more or less. Okay, this doesn't matter. This new black point doesn't really matter because we're going to crush it later using this PROD 8003 curve levels with this black point. Because what this black point does is that it reduces everything evenly. It reduces everything. And of course, when you do that, you reduce everything, you're also going to be reducing the max CLL. So you have to go in game and change that peak brightness slider until you get the desired max CLL that you want to get. So that's it. That's the idea. Use this HDR analysis tool to check the max CLL depending on your monitor. So for this LGC1, if I want to use HGIG, I would use max CLL 797 or close to 800, or perfectly if it is 800 for HGIG, but I am not going to use a native HDR on this game because right now I am getting 115 FPS. But this game performance is trash. It's trash because it is fluctuating too much depending on where you are on the screen. It's just that fluctuating too much from over 100 frames per second. It's fluctuating down to like 60 or 70 FPS. I mean, like 80, let's say. So far, I haven't played the game. I've been testing it. So that's too bad, man. That's just not good enough. Very, very, very bad performance. Very demanding on the CPU. Okay, the GPU is okay in pushing more frames. Right now, the GPU is at 92%. So it could be pushing more frames, but it is not because of the CPU. And by the way, I think I resolved the CPU problem. It was software related. I still have Cinebench R23 crashing on me when I just opened Cinebench. R23 is crashing. I don't understand why. Cinebench R20 is working fine, and the score of my CPU, which is a 5800X3D, is fine. So I don't understand why Cinebench R23 is crashing, but that's software, man. That has to be software related, so I'm not gonna lose my mind. I already think I figured out the CPU. It was not reading the temperature, it was not reading the utilization right. I just deleted MSI Afterburner, downloaded it again, reinstalled it again, got a new version, and it was resolved. So I'm just gonna keep playing my games and forget about it for a while, and maybe I'll figure out what's going on with Cinebench R23 that's crashing my PC. I'm basically getting the blue screen of death. Just, I don't understand. I just don't understand why. So, but yeah, my PC is working fine. The game is not stuttering, but I feel like when, yeah, there's some kind of traversal stutters, maybe even shader compilation stutters. I'm not sure. The thing is that it is not like perfectly flat or all the time. It is, and it's just dropping too much. So yeah, I would play this game 60 FPS, OLED Motion Pro high, and I would tweak the native HDR settings for that. Okay, so what I do basically to use OLED Motion Pro high is I max out the in-game peak brightness slider. You take a look at the max CLL, is like 4000. So if it goes beyond 4000 nits, I lower it a little bit, and then I use dynamic tone mapping. With dynamic tone mapping, mastering peak max CLL 4000. Then I use the SDR HDR trick calibration settings that I share with you on that video that's called SDR HDR trick blue light killer settings, because that's what I like, blue light killer. So with those settings, I have the near black lifted on the TV without losing the perfect black. So I am just increasing the visibility near black so I don't get crushing when I am using OLED Motion Pro high. And that's the way I am actually going to play the game. But, and with this same settings that I'm sharing with you, that's what I'm gonna be using on the game to fix the source. But then on my TV, because I am using OLED Motion Pro high, this black frame insertion options that reduces the brightness, because of that, then I modify the TV settings for that. But these settings are gonna work for all TVs and monitors, and it looks very, very good. I mean, this looks absolutely amazing. I was trying to actually record and show you that near black scene at the beginning of the game, but it is impossible to capture. Not even so. That scene is so close to black, so close, and so it's impossible to record. I tried to record it using my GPU, okay, and it looks terrible. I am not able to record that with my camera settings. It's impossible. Even if I increase all the gain and everything, it just, I cannot show you that near black detail on that scene. It's just so low, so amazing. I've never seen that on any game. So absolutely give these settings a try. It looks very good. I'm not very happy with the way the game looks. I said, my first impressions, I said, oh, I like it. The anti-aliasing looks, DLSS, it looks crisp. It was looking clear. But that's at the beginning of the game. When you have a cutscene and the faces are closer, it looks sharp, it looks perfect. But during the game, it's not the same. It's not the same. It looks a little bit blurry, man. It just doesn't look perfect. It doesn't look the same as the cutscenes, unfortunately. But it doesn't look bad either. It's not like a blurry game or anything like that, but it just doesn't look very good. This is DLSS quality, 4K DLSS quality, and it doesn't look sharp. It looks acceptable. Okay, I can play it, but it's not great. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.